person behind the screen. So, on Saturday, we got our first glimpse of a fully formed Doctor in Peter Capaldi's first proper full adventure as the Doctor. Do I think it was as good as Deep Breath? No, I don't. But it was still pretty good. Let's take a look at it. This is Into the Dalek. The pre-title sequence is one of the best things about this whole episode. It's just great. It's really well directed. It's action-packed. We see a first glimpse of a really stern, no-nonsense kind of Doctor, and that's what I want from Capaldi. He was brilliant in this scene. He's brilliant in the entire episode. He's now my favourite Doctor, and I'm not ashamed to say that. He's flipping amazing, okay? The pre-title sequence, I should say, the epic space battle was, well, epic. The CGI was great. I mean, everything about this pre-title sequence worked. The way that the Doctor showed a face of fear as he looked at that Dalek while it faded to the opening titles with the familiar theme music coming in. It was just great. And after the titles, we got to see more of Clara's actual life, which is always good. I feel like we really know Clara now. And, you know, apart from, like, being a story out for Series 7. It's also here we get a first glimpse of our new companion, Danny Pink. Well, I think his introduction was pretty good. There was a nice mystery there. Who did he kill that wasn't a soldier? And at the ending of this episode also set up a bit of conflict with Danny and the Doctor when he does join the TARDIS. So, yeah, Danny Pink, good introduction. Maybe there could have been a bit more of him in this episode, because literally after Clara goes in the TARDIS, nothing more is said about Danny Pink apart from at the ending. That's literally the last time we see Danny Pink. I think there could be a lot more of him in this episode. But, you know, I think Samuel Anderson did a good performance, and it was a pretty good introduction. When the characters went inside the Dalek, I don't think the shrinking idea came into its own. I think they could have done a lot more with that idea. But it was still pretty cool. The effect when they went into the Dalek was really good. That, you know, wibbly wobbly blue effect. No, not wibbly wobbly timey wimey. Wibbly wobbly blue effect. It was really good. But the inside of the Dalek, it didn't look like the inside of a Dalek. It looked like corridors of the TARDIS redressed, and the antibodies, they were pretty much the Let's Kill Hitler antibodies, but with the tentacles taken away, and they were sized down, so they were smaller. That's all they really were. I mean, yeah, the inside of the Dalek really didn't look like an inside of a Dalek at all. It just didn't feel alive. It felt like a Dalek was playing through a loudspeaker while the Dalek was monitoring the Doctor through somewhere. I don't even know. But yeah, it didn't look like a Dalek at all. Another glimpse we get of a darker Doctor is when he gives Ross that pill, and it so he can save, you know, the whole group. And that was really dark of the Doctor. And I don't think it was bad at all. I liked it because, you know, we get a glimpse of Capaldi's darkness when it comes to playing the Doctor. And that was a good scene. You know, he's still willing to save people, but when, you know, Star Trek, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. It was that situation pretty much. There's one person. He doesn't mind losing one person. Whereas if it was Matt Smith doing this episode, I think maybe Matt Smith would have done everything he could to save the guy. The Doctor sort of abandoned him in this, which really was dark, and that was needed for Peter Capaldi. Something that was never brought up again, the radiation. The Doctor says, "Oh God, there's radiation in here." Like, he even grabs the guide counter off the off Gretchen, I think it is, and he grabs that, and then it's never mentioned again. Surely they could they have a throwaway line about it. No, it was never mentioned again. That was just slightly off, to be honest. Talking of a darker Doctor, in this episode he was dark, but he also had an element of sarcasm to him, which I really liked. Like, are you out of your mind? No, I'm inside a Dalek. That line was that got me chuckling actually. He does have a proper element of sarcasm as well as the dark, and it balances it out perfectly. And Peter Capaldi's very good performance in this episode. Another thing inconsistent. Well, when they went into the gunk, which is made up of people, you know, look at the scene. 5 minutes later, they are bone dry. No word of a lie. The Doctor's costume, everything is dry. Whereas, like, the scene before, they were sopping wet with green gunk. I don't think that could happen. And I've watched this episode 3 times now. There was nothing explains it. Nothing. And yeah, again, a pointless thing. When the Doctor heals the crack in the Dalek, inside Dalek, of course the Dalek starts killing everyone, which is good. Daleks should act like that. For the first time in ages, Daleks act like Daleks in this episode. They were ruthless, no matter how much anyone was shooting at them. Just like that bit where you saw a close-up of the gun. You get my drift. It was like a machine gun almost. I don't know, I'm happy about that. But when Rusty the Dalek, when Rusty decides to kill all of his Daleks, there was 3 Daleks against Rusty. Rusty took them all out in 5 seconds. Surely one of the Daleks could have turned around and killed Rusty really easily. Unless he just sort of gained Dalek superpowers, I don't think that's very plausible. But yeah, the CGI really dipped about this point when the Doctor was when we were seeing the memories of the Dalek, the CGI, when it was really amazing in the opening space battle, and then went to just sort of below average when we were seeing his memories, is just really jarring. Actually, I mean it's almost like 2 different companies worked on the CGI. It was weird. It was very, very, very weird. But yeah, kind of bad CGI at that point. And then, of course, where did Rusty go after he killed those 3 Daleks? He just sort of went. The TARDIS dematerialised. Everything was well and good. And then it just went, bye, have a great time, and just went down a corridor. And where did he go? To destroy all those other Daleks to join back with them? I'm pretty sure, even though he'd destroyed 3 in half a second, I'm pretty sure he couldn't take all of those Daleks on that mothership. They would have exterminated him on the spot. And where did he go? Yeah, when Journey Blue asks the Doctor to take her with him, of course, that was when the conflict happened. When it was setting up the conflict with Danny Pink, he said he doesn't like soldiers. But that moment was really forced. Not by Peter Capaldi, not by any of the actors, by the writing. Journey Blue never ever expressed any interest in the Doctor, and never even when we never got a scene saying thank you Doctor, just take me with you Doctor. It felt really forced, and it wasn't really necessary or needed, just so the Doctor could say, oh, I don't like soldiers. It's mentioned again. Clara even says to Danny Pink at the end, do you have anything against soldiers? Danny says, and Clara says, no, not me. So that could have been just reworked, but yeah. Other than that, no major complaints about the ending. Next time trailer. I'm really excited for next week's episode. We've had 2 relatively dark episodes in a row, and I think next week's going to be really light-hearted. Seeing the preview with the Doctor trying to fight Robin Hood with his spoon. What was it? Draw your sword. I don't have a sword. Does a little spin around. But I don't need one, because I'm the Doctor. And this is my spoon. That's awesome. I can't wait for that episode. I think It's going to be amazing. Really, like, light-hearted, fun little adventure. So to sum up Into the Dalek, I'd say it wasn't as good as Deep Breath. I think they could have done more with the idea of shrinking inside the Dalek. They should have made the inside the Dalek look more like a Dalek. Less forced writing at some points. And improve that CGI. But yeah, it's a solid 7 out of 10 for me. I don't think it's anything special, but then again, it's not majorly awful either. You could easily watch it like any day of the week, and you'll still enjoy it. So stay tuned, because next week we'll be reviewing Robots of Sherwood.